Hey, I'm Josh at Sanders Street Rods. Welcome back to our channel. I'm going to be talking about the underbody of the 70 Charger. The whole underside of this has been mocked up. The car's been run right now. Everything has been prefabbed for the most part. So what you're going to see is everything just uncoated before we go to start disassembling it next week. So starting in the back, we've got these really cool billet exhaust tips that kind of channel the two pipes as they come together and just give it a path out the back of the car. Tavis helped us to design those, and then Derek machined them. We use these really cool MagnaFlow mufflers. They've actually got basically a Y inside of them. This side is muffled. This side is more of a straight pipe, and we utilize that for our cutouts. This is an exhaust cutout valve. With this valve open, it essentially will straight pipe it. And what's really cool, these valves are like a door. They're the best ones that we've found to use, and we use these quite a lot. People just love them. It kind of brings the kid out in everybody when you can flip a switch and it goes straight pipe. It's just a lot of fun, and that's what this is all about anyways. But what's really cool too is you can almost tune the sound that you want, because you can crack this thing part of the way open and it just creates a different sound. So it's totally customizable as far as the exhaust note goes. And it gives it like a full kind of quad exhaust look. So really happy with how all that came out. You can also see this car rides on an Art Morrison chassis. It's basically been channeled over the entire frame, which gives it that lower look. We fabricated the entire floor for this car from front to back. It was cut out. These are originally unibody cars. All of that was removed to make room for the new chassis. And we opted to go for body on frame type construction, so we can actually separate the body from the chassis still. That kind of has its advantages for how we can finish it, how we can adjust things down the road, and how we can work on it. So going forward from here, we're going to be pulling the body off the frame. We can finish up any welding, any fabrication stuff that needs to be done. We're actually going to coat the frame, paint the underside of the body, put it back together for final fit as we work through the bodywork stages. This is also a stainless tank that we had custom made for this. I drew this out on paper years ago just to fit how we wanted, with the little contour in the back. I didn't want it to really hang down the bottom of the quarter panels. I tried to match that angle as it goes across and still have a decent capacity. Lots of little details and things we paid attention to as we fabricate everything. So when we cut the entire floor out, we were basically left with nothing. No body mounts. We weren't left with a fuel tank location, a seat location, any of that. So we have to work through the things that we know and then build off of that for the other things that just have to go out in space, basically. So that's particularly challenging. It's nice to see it all come together like this, because I know how much time myself and all the guys have spent staring at this thing, designing parts, measuring this so that this can go there, so that that can go there. It all has to work and fit above the bottom of the rails for maximum ground clearance and be taken back apart and function. Even this little cross member is just a floor support. Like Brian put all these little dimple dies in it and broke it and fit it, and then the floor goes on top of it. And I think it was Matt actually welded these radiuses into the rails. Gets away from the squared look, but it was also totally functional because it gave us this little pocket where we could do a body mount that was away from the muffler. All this stuff was fabricated, and like that entire wheel tub was scratch built, and I put like a little notch in it right where the exhaust tucks through there, which is just makes it look very purpose built. So when I was fabricating the wheel tub for this, that extended all the way down to this point, and I knew the exhaust was going to pass through here, so it allowed me to put this little notch in there, which just gives it a more of a purpose-built look. Really ties into the whole plan throughout this to try and get it to all function as good as it could and fit up as tight as it can. All these different ideas are constantly in mind. The entire exhaust system can be removed. It's all V-bands, so each individual piece can come out. It really kind of had to zig and zag through this independent rear suspension. So I remember spending a little bit of time trying to figure this all out. And then I wanted to stand at the back too and make sure it looks symmetrical. But there is just not a lot of room to make it up and through there. But I just couldn't stand to go down through here because I knew you would see it from the back. It looks a little more intentional that way. This whole independent rear suspension is really awesome. A lot of neat fab work from Art Morrison. Definitely not final. Some of the stuff we had to jump through to get it running again, which is a nice way to do it. It's just when this thing comes apart, like I said, it's moving towards body and paint now. When it comes time, when everything's painted, we're not going to be working around that paint. The shorter we can have the amount of time working around the paint, the better. It's going to be really fun when this thing's painted, because it's going to be like every day is just clicking parts on, putting stuff back on, and getting this thing put back together. This entire rear suspension drops out as a cradle, so 4 bolts, and we can drop this whole thing out. That's also another reason the exhaust is really important to be able to be removed. You'll see our line clamps throughout this project too. This was one of the first builds that got our line clamps from start to finish for all the plumbing stuff. Derek machined these exhaust mounts, which are really trick. Just like a little notch right around the driveline. Fortunately, the driveline doesn't move up and down because of the independent rear. So it allowed us to put these driveline hoops in and just keep all this stuff really tight. Trying to figure out, okay, we need to have a driveline hoop. We have to have a driveline, and we have to have dual exhaust passing through here. And it all has to be removable because we're not gonna sit here and weld this sucker in and then cut it out later. So having these clamps, so this driveline hoop can come out, it can slide forward, and then the driveline can be dropped down, and then it can be pulled out through the front hoop. It's just, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of thought, and but that's what turns it into this, and the ability to do that and the freedom to design and create all this. And having the CNC stuff on hand, I mean, this can go from a thought to a part in days. We have it right in front of us, make a little template, Derek draws it up, laser cuts out another template, we fit that on here, then it's billet. And then the exhaust is hung, and it's like, I'm up here building this piece, oh, this is coming up. By the time I'm here, this piece is already machined, and we just keep it moving. So it's a lot of fun to see all that stuff come together, and it's also dangerous to have that stuff in our hands because we got to pump the brakes. It just never, it's awesome though. And that's what this kind of project demands, and that's what turns out something like this. So even these cross members are notched for the exhaust. This bolts up from the bottom, and more hangers. This cross member drops out so the tranny can be removed. That's another thing too, like when we're building the tunnel, we're thinking, okay, if we ever had to take this transmission out, we need to be able to reach up in there and pop those bell housing bolts out, drop this thing down, pull it enough to disengage it from the clutch. So we actually went through kind of like a dry removal, if you will, of testing all that to make sure it's serviceable. We do not want to get ourselves boxed into a car like this, especially with the level of details in the finish. We need to be able to service this car and then make it look like we were never there. Another big thing about underneath here is the whole brake booster system. I didn't want to put a master cylinder on the firewall. A couple of reasons, just because of the shape of the firewall and the cleanliness of it. And the underfloor pedal system is kind of cool. It's a little racy looking. It looks cool from the top side, and it allows us to package everything underneath. So this entire pedal system was custom built. We had designed it all, fabricated it all, and I'm really excited about how it turned out. You can see all this trick plumbing that Brian did to bring it all together, and bulkhead fitting is through here. The linkage passes through the frame in multiple spots. It's all adjustable. We've got our ratios dialed in. Their ratios are also adjustable still too. This entire floor is scratch built stuff we did here. These little drop downs are, I wanted to try and give the back seat a little bit of foot room, and we didn't have a need for this area. So this all got dropped down to give the back seat a little bit of space. Yeah, these are the ice boxes for the supercharger.
One's for the supercharger, the other's for your beers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, honestly though, look at these massive fuel lines, -8 front to back. Gotta love it. This is kind of a cool connection here where it's all bulkheaded through and just nice clean line fit. Transition over to soft line, all crimp stuff. Then coming forward, you can see the bottom of the Hellcat. We got the Mylodon batwing pan just to give it the flattest bottom as we could, which goes right into the bell housing. A lot going on up here. We purchased these headers. We had to modify them a little bit, but they worked for the most part. They're some super long tube headers. Gives it a pretty awesome sound. Cross member, something we fabricated here. Matt and I worked on that. It can be dropped out. There again, working on the engine, pulling the oil pan, whatever it is, it's all serviceable. Lots of different things we had to do, like this AC compressor. That is a Sandin compressor, not the Mopar compressor. The pulley system on this is pretty stock except for that component. With us moving the engine back and down to clear the hood, that compressor was right in the way of the rack and pinion. The thought and engineering alone that went into that bracket to make sure that it was mounted solid, that the belt alignment was correct, that it cleared everything, the steering was going to work, the lines coming out of it were going to work where the plumbing needed to go and didn't run into the frame rail. It all came together, but that was a lot of work in itself. It's fun to revisit all this stuff. You know, we've been working on this car for a long time, and it's nice to see and remember where all the work went, where all the time has gone. Just because of how the pulleys were laid out on this, we had to do several crossovers, and all the massive amounts of plumbing, because we have the engine oil cooler, we have the whole supercharger coolant system, we have the air conditioning, we have the heating, We have the fuel lines. I mean, all this stuff has to come together. The hydro boost, which is all this power steering stuff. There's a couple of crossovers here, but this is actually, you can see it from the top side where we use some of our stackable stuff to kind of create this pass across the front of the engine. Radiator line goes across the bottom there and zigs and zags up. This whole shroud, Matt built all this stuff. Matt and Brian worked together and get all this stuff done for the bottom of the radiator. The whole core support scratch built. Sway bar that we had to find. Morrison has like a wall of sway bars, and we went in there with like a wire bent and some measurements trying to find one, and found this one, and we're able to make it work for the front end because the radiator's low and back, and it's just all been changed. Just got these inner fenders, the lower inner fenders wrapped up. These are louvers that just haven't been bent yet. I'm just gonna wait a little bit farther. There's a couple little things I need to tie up on that, but that's just gonna help ventilate the engine bay a little bit. That panel is also removable for doing alignments and just help give access for headers and everything. This bolts, man, dang it.
I'm getting too excited.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about this. This is so exciting.
Let's go. And here's the rest of it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of tired, so. Goodness sakes. It's like when I'm like looking up and talking, it literally feels different for some reason. Come back with my eyeballs sticking out of my head.